everybody, Christy here at the live from the McDaniel kitchen. Just wanted to give you a quick meal prep 101. This is just some basics about meal prepping to get you started. Kind of explain some of the stuff that's in the group, in the description, as well as the plans that you've received. Again, if you go to the group page and under descriptions, you'll find the meal plans that are available to you. There are several based on what program you might be using, but I'll be honest, most all of them follow along the same principles as the 21-day fix. They all come with these containers and they are really handy to use in finding your portion sizes. So I'm just going to give you an example tonight with using the 21-day fix meal plan. Again, if you're using PiYo, Hammer and Chisel, any of the other programs, you can use this. It's all really close to the same amount of portion sizes. But if not, you can make adjustments based on your program, especially if you're doing P90X. That one needs a lot more food than the 21-day fix. But for tonight's purposes and demonstration, I'm just going to use the 21-day fix program. So what I did to start with was printed off the meal plan itself. This is week 1, 21-day fix. Clay and I are on different calorie counts, so I print off both of those. And then we kind of sit down and we decide what our meals, what our proteins, what our veggies, all that good stuff, what we're going to do. So I just make up a quick little graph, a little chart about what meals we're going to use. Because we're on different meal plans, Clay has a little bit more food to choose from, so we just kind of work it into what our tastes and choices are. So we fill those meals in, and then from there I make my grocery list, and it's a mess because I went grocery shopping with it, but here's an example. I make my Costco side and I make my Publix side. I find shopping at Costco to be a little bit more convenient for price and for bulk foods. It just helps me to save money. Plus Costco has a lot of organic foods that I prefer to use organic. But you can use Sam's, or Wild Fields has great deals on meats on certain days, which I'll give you information on that later. But wherever you decide to shop is fine. But you just make your grocery list, and then from there you bring it home. You decide when you want to cook it up. I would say give yourself a good 2-3 hours your first couple times doing this, because it does it'll get easier as you go along, but as you're trying to get organized and figuring out how much to prepare for you, your spouse, or your children, however you want to do it, you do need to allow some extra time for that. So this is all my food that I've prepared this afternoon. I still have chicken in the crock pot. It's got a little bit more time to go, so I won't use that as an example. But for this week and the meal plan of the 21-day fix, meal 1, we have turkey meatballs, we have sweet potatoes, we have rice, we have a quinoa rice mix because I like that better than brown rice. We chose to do steak instead of fish. I travel, so fish doesn't always travel and reheat very well on the airplane, so steak is much easier. We have hard-boiled eggs, we have broccoli, we have green beans, we have quinoa, and then we have our mixed berries, our mixed nuts, we have bananas. We have a mixture of all the stuff that we decided on our list of meals that we want to make. So it's all prepared, ready to go. Next is just dividing it up. So I pull out the containers. These come from Amazon. I'll give you the link for that. They're super cheap. They're flexible. They sometimes break, and it's okay if you throw them away. But you can get big packages of them. We have multiple different sizes that we've collected over the last year of meal prepping, and we use them all really. But so for instance, I'm just going to start with, let's just say, meal 4. Our lean meat for meal 4 happens to be turkey meatballs. We decided on turkey meatballs, sweet potatoes, and broccoli for that meal. So I'm going to take my red container, which happens to be for protein. I'm going to fill it up with some of the turkey meatballs, and we'll put it in the one container. And then we have sweet potatoes, which is going to be the carb. That's your yellow container. And with that, I'll cut off some of the sweet potatoes. These sweet potatoes are just baked, and then I take the skin off of it, and that's it. Pretty easy. You can slice it up. Some people like to boil them. I think that boiling takes a lot of the nutrients out of the sweet potatoes, so baked keeps more of the nutrients in. Just a thought on that. And then next we're going to use our green container and do our, what did we say it was? Broccoli? That's the cameraman coming through. So we fill up our green container with broccoli. And then, which you guys can't even see, the cameraman and the producers in the background here just itching to come proportion out food. No? Okay, so that's meal one. And then we just do this for all 5. I will say some people prep all week for 7 days. Some people prep for 3 days. We find 5 days works for us, but it's all personal preference as to how much you want to meal prep for. Our refrigerator space doesn't hold much more than 5 days worth of food, of packaged food, at least for our family. So that's where we get the 5 days from. So I'm just dividing up the broccoli, and then we'll do some sweet potatoes. Oops, wrong container. It's not an exact science. Just kind of top it off. Did you want to come help, Wesley? Fine. All right. And then next, we'll go back and do our red container with our meatballs. That's Grace on the monitor. She's trying to fall asleep. That's when meal prep happens around here. All right. And then we can put the lids on it. Wesley, would you like to put the lids on?
I don't know where they are.
They're right behind you.
Oh.
We just pack the lids on and then stack them up. And Clay and I find it easy. We label it like Clay number 4 with a little sticky note. So then that way he knows where to reach and grab for his number 4. So before he goes to work, he can just pull out number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and then he's done. Put it in his cooler bag, good to go. I will say some of them, I'll just give you some hints and suggestions for if you're following this meal plan to a T. On meal number 1, it has, for instance, flaxseed. Flaxseed is a really good thing for you to add. If you decide to get ground flaxseed, that's fine. It's better to ground it as you go so it doesn't get rancid. And I would say just to go to the health food store, you can buy some flaxseed and then grind it up in a coffee grinder. They recommend coffee grinders to only be used for flaxseed because the oils can get contaminated between the coffee and the flaxseed, but that's just a little suggestion on that. Or you can just get it ground up and you're good to go. Berries and grapefruit. Berries are really high in antioxidants. Grapefruit's really good for healing tissues and sore muscles, so you could do either one of those. I don't like grapefruit, so you won't find it on my meal prep. But berries, I love berries. Love them, love, love, love them. I prefer not to chop them and wash them until it's time to be used because they'll last longer. So if you're packing berries for 5 to 7 days, if you don't wash them, they'll stay better than if you washed them and then packed them. They'll get kind of mushy by then. Again, just same repetition. So we'll just stack these meals up. And then, like I said, I'll put a little sticky note on it that says Clay number 4, stick it in here, and then put it in the refrigerator. And then we move on to number 5 or number 3 or whichever one you want to pack up. And then whatever food is left, we'll just package up and have it for the kids to eat because they will eat all of this. It's all good, fresh foods. It's good for them. And then you're all set. And that's about it. So I welcome any questions. This is just kind of a quick introduction to show you what it looks like in my kitchen when we meal prep. But by all means, ask away if you have any problems. Okay? Thank you. Love you all. Mwah.